G'day guys, how you going? Hope you're having a fantastic afternoon. Personally, I'm a little bit disappointed. I woke up this morning expecting a game of cricket. I had my team shirt on and everything. Woke up, looked outside, and the heavens had opened up, so the play was cancelled. But oh well, I played all day yesterday and I've got a game of hockey this afternoon, so I guess a rest here and there won't hurt. But you know, it's a sporting life for me, so I'm always disappointed if I can't play. But anyway, what better way to spend a rainy afternoon than to do a review on YouTube for you all? And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. This is a Norwegian horror film made in 2009, directed by Paul Oy, and this is Skjult. Now, I apologise if I've got the Norwegian title wrong. I'm going to pretend I know Norwegian, pretend that I'm intelligent and know Norwegian. So, Skjult is what I'm going with. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. But the English title is Hidden. And I could have said Hidden, but as I said, I want to pretend I know something and going to call it Skjult. So anyway, this stars Christopher Jonah and Cecile Mosley. They were also off another horror film, Norwegian horror film called Next Door. So as soon as I saw the opening of this film, I recognised these faces straight away. So if you're familiar with Norwegian cinema, these faces will come to you very quickly. So yeah, Skjult is about Kai Kloss. Now, Kai Kloss is the main character, played by Christopher Jonah, and he's come back to his childhood home where he grew up with his mother. His mother has recently passed away, so he's come to the house because the house has been left over to him. And so it's really, really run down, dirty, and empty, and it's just really, really eerie. And he's having these painful flashbacks of his childhood. Now, his mother used to torture him as a child. She would hold him under the water in the bathtub for extended periods of time for punishment. She would pour boiling hot water over his chest if he wet the bed. And there's a stage of the film where he lifts up his shirt and he's got these horrible scars from the burning. And he used to be locked in this dungeon-like room for punishment as well. So she was a really, really sadistic sort of awful mother. And so he comes to this house, and each room he goes into, he's having these really bad flashbacks of his awful mother. He's even hallucinating. He thinks he can see his dead mother, and she's coming up to him, she's haunting him. And you can clearly see that Kai is a very disturbed individual. But anyway, he's having these awful, awful memories, some really disturbing imagery in his mind. And he comes to the conclusion that he's going to have to burn this house down. Now, this is where Cecile Mosley comes in. She's the cop. She knows Kai from her childhood, and she says, I can understand you wanting to burn the house down, but I can't let you do it. So she confiscates the petrol that he's going to use. And so he's stuck. He has this house, he doesn't want it, and he's trying to think of what to do. And in the meantime, he's having these awful flashbacks. And then, to complicate matters, there's this killer on the loose. Now, the killer is connected to the house and Kai's past. And that's pretty much where I'll go with the story. Now, I've seen this film. This is a very hard film to come by, but it is on Amazon for private sellers. But some of the prices are ridiculous, and I want to just warn you that it is a good film, but I would not pay silly money for this film because it is not a film that you haven't seen before. And this is my one criticism of it. Now, as far as the positives go, Christopher Jonah, the main character, who is also off Next Door, he is absolutely fantastic in this film. He is a really, really good actor, and I hadn't heard of him before I saw the film Next Door. He was brilliant in Next Door, and he's even better in this one. And I'm going to say that he pretty much carries this film, and this is why this film is so good, because of the lead performance. Now, the performance of Cecile Mosley as the police officer, she was really good, and she was really good in Next Door. But like in Next Door, she takes a back. She's really much in the background compared to Christopher Jonah. He really steals the show. So he's a fantastic actor. I would keep an eye out for him. I hope he can make it in Hollywood, because he certainly deserves it. Now, the direction of this film was brilliant as well. It's got a really eerie atmosphere, very disturbing. The images in Kai's mind are really, really frightening. Some genuine scares in the film, which I thought, surprised me. The director, Paul Oy, never heard of him before. Hope he keeps on making films, because if this is anything to go by, he's got a lot of good things happening for him in the future. There's no gore in it, so you're going to be disappointed if you're a gore hound, but psychologically, this is a very sort of intense film. But like I said, now we get to the negatives. this isn't a film that you haven't seen before. So, you know, if you can pick this up cheap, I would definitely recommend it. But if you are faced with paying a lot of money for it, then I'd probably wait until it's a bit cheaper, because, you know, it's the film doesn't have enough quality to warrant a very expensive buy. So yeah, I did enjoy this film. I thought it dragged a little bit in certain areas. I thought it could have picked up a bit. It stayed pretty much on one line. But the ending, it picked up a little bit for the ending. Not a magnificent ending. It's just a very, very solid film. If you're a fan of psychological, if you're a fan of Norwegian horror, definitely check this one out. But I must stress, only if you can get it at a cheap price. Yeah, because you will be disappointed if you have to pay something stupid for it. Now, I would keep an eye out for Norway, because they are making their way up the ladder. I can tell you that right now. All the films that I've seen, I'm sure that there are pretty ordinary Norwegian films out there, but all the films that I have in my collection, while they're not the most creative films, although I would say Next Door was pretty original, so all of the films in my collection, barring Next Door, they're all very, very solidly made films, but they're not the most original films. They've been used thousands of times before. But what impresses me most about Norwegian horror is just how well they are made and how psychological they can get. So this is the 2009 film Skjult. If you're into the disturbing psychological sort of horror films, I would definitely check this one out. But yeah, as I said, definitely only if you can get it for a good price. So that's Skjult. I recommend you go out and see it, and yeah, that's my review. Now, on the 9th of December is my birthday. I'll have a huge update for you all there. So really looking forward to them. Got a lot of films to watch. And yeah, until then, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Bye.